Are you recording? Record. Alright. So here we are on Mill Road Bridge, of course. So those of you who know about my channel have seen that I've been following this congestion charge situation, and as yet I've yet to get round to the Mill Road Bridge closure. So here they're going to block this off, and I still have yet to really understand why. But this bit here, I understand, is going to become like an electronic bus gate. So if you drive through here, as this guy's about to do, you're going to get a camera flash and a ticket. I'm making this video now because the council is going to make the decision about whether or not to close it on the 7th of March, which is in about 3 weeks' time. And I've had a few words with Dave Bagent, who's the Romsey councillor who's on the board of the GCP, and he hasn't really been answering my questions. So hopefully today we're going to get a little bit more knowledge about why they're going to close the bridge and how it's going to affect local traders, and what the general feeling is. It's unlikely that this video is really going to make an awful lot of difference, but at least we'll be able to know, we the viewers and the voting public are going to be able to know how the council operate and how they think. Alright? So let's do it! So the road closure, the bridge closure, is I think being spearheaded by a group called Cam Cycle, who are a cycling campaign group, and Dave Bagent, the councillor. And Dave Bagent said to me, when I managed to have a quick conversation with him the other night when we were at the BBC thing, he says that 70% of residents are in favour of this and only about 15% are against. But I don't know how he came to those numbers, because there's never been an actual poll or a proper survey conducted. They've only done their GCP consultation, which, as we know, are often quite limited in their scope, and they don't advertise them very well. And part of the problems with having a campaign group like CamCycle involved is that they can basically fill the consultation with positive feedback, and so they could all say, we all want this, and they can create a false impression of what the actual mood is. It's also known as manufacturing consent. So here, just walking along Mill Road, we have this random bollard. People love these, don't they? Why is this here? Don't know. Just thought I would point that out, because that's the sort of thing that the GCP do. Okay, Shapur, hello. Thanks for talking.
Hi.
Let me just put this down. Sorry. Are you is it the chair or the?
Chair of Mill Traders Association.
Okay.
Yes.
So, just tell us a little bit about what the plans involve, and in your understanding, why they want to do it.
So what they've been trying to say is Mill Road is not safe for the cyclists and pedestrian. So they are trying to reduce the traffic and everything else by closing the bridge. That's how they want to implement that, what they want to do. And we are saying that by closing the bridge, it's going to kill all the businesses, and it's not going to be viable for us to survive in this environment. And from my understanding is Mill Road Bridge is part of the bigger plan. If they've managed to do whatever they want to do in Milton Road, they've managed to do whatever they wanted to do in East Road and other areas, Arbery and other things. And what they are planning to do is, by closing Mill Road Bridge, they're going to establish a ring round Cambridge. So that becomes like a queue of traffic, one after another, because people, they can't go side roads, all of them are closed. And because of that ring establishing gradually, they're going to say, okay, then we've got too much traffic, we have to implement the congestion charge. That is their plan.
Okay. So they're going to block off this bridge right here. So essentially, you can't go from one end to the other.
Yep.
So if you're a van, for example, over there, and you have a delivery to make on that end, you're going to have to go all the way around.
You have to take the first turning before bridge on the right, go all the way to Cherrington, then down, back in Coleridge Road, back to the Mill Road. We've measured it's 20 minutes extra time.
Wow. and that's when there isn't a lot of congestion already. From your point of view, do you get deliveries on a regular basis?
We do get deliveries every day, and then I have to deliver as well. Some of the units we deliver is too heavy for customers, so I have to do it. During the COVID, when they closed the bridge, it was hell for us because I had to drive all the way, left, right, 2 minutes drive. It was 25, half an hour drive.
And how many of you are there in the Mill Road Traders Association, roughly?
There are 167 businesses in Mill Road, and we all talk to each other, and we all are trying to help each other. So Mill Road Trader Association, our job is to look after those businesses.
Yeah.
We listen to majority, not the minority. Minority, if they say they want to, we usually have meetings, we ask people what to do, what can we do. Majority of businesses, they don't want to close.
And what's the relationship like with the council and Mill Road Traders?
We talk to each other, but they are not helping. Oh, they are helping, but they don't know what to do at the moment because, as I said, they have to reach their goal, and that goal is to close the bridge. And if that is done, we will be in trouble, yes.
And so that's happening, or they're going to make the decision next month, aren't they?
7th of March at the county council,
Okay.
yes.
And just so for my knowledge, how long did the consultation go on for?
Consultation been for a few months, I think.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of objections. There were a lot of people, they said we are not happy with it. And then we even at one point we said this consultation is not right because people, they can do duplicate entry and there was no choice, there were no control over it. We raised that issue, but they said no, we can control it. Then they said no, this was wrong and we can't do it. And then they started another one, and it's still not anywhere yet.
No. Okay, well, we'll see what happens on the 7th
Thank
then.
you.
Yeah, that's all right. Is there anything else that you want to say?
No, we just want to say my final thing is I just want people to understand we are not against minority. We are here it's a democratic country. Majority rules. If majority wants it open, we want it to keep it open. Then traffic is coming down because most of the people, because of the inflation and cost of living, people they tend to use either walk or cycle or not to use their car because it's too expensive now. So pollution is coming down, everything is coming down, and now because if they want to close the bridge, it's going to damage the businesses. It's going to kill it. Yes.
Is there anybody in the association who you know of who thinks that they might go out of business completely?
Yes, I know few people, definitely. They say if that happens, they're not going to renew their lease. I know few businesses over the bridge, they ask me, shopper, if the decision is positive, we will not renew our lease, we're going to move out of Mill Road because it's impossible for us to deliver and do our jobs.
Wow. Well, there you have it. So that's Shapur. What's your surname?
Mefta.
Shapur Mefta, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much
That's
indeed.
all right.
Thank you
And
very
you say
much.
this guy? Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's disappeared. So we'll get another word with somebody else. All right, here he comes. Who are you then, sir?
My name is Mohammed Azimuddin. I run a business of letting and management and sales in Cambridge.
Okay.
So I do in the property industry, which I provide the accommodations in Cambridge. And we're talking about the Mill Road Bridge.
Yeah, what's your take?
I am totally against it. We fought together for the Mill Road Bridge not to shut down because it affects every single business. And only the reason I say is I used to live other side of the bridge before it closed down. When it closed down, so the crime has increased rapidly. My wife was too scared to walk on the road because at the dark there's no movement on the street, and few of my tenants has been robbed on a knife point because there's no movements on there, there's no lights in there, and people say it's getting overcrowded on the bridge in the Mill Road, but it's not because of the movement of sometimes there's a movement of cars, movement of people on a bike helps a lot to keep other people safe, especially when they are in the business, especially for us. Other local shops over there, they are getting affected a lot because there's no business, and they want to move this out of the bridge. What will happen to the next other side of the bridge? The people need to think there are a lot of empty units there we haven't filled out. It's just not about one thing have an impact. Every single thing has an impact. Crimes, shops, no footfall in and the people don't want to rent any accommodation that side as well because why? We have to pay extra money to come on this side of the bridge.
Do you live around here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I live locally.
Yeah.
Here, I just live in Petersfield, and if I have to, when I used to live other side of the bridge, if I'm not available to go and pick up my wife, My wife has to pay extra money for the taxi to just come all the way here just to go to the town. Why should I pay? Who's coming out from my pocket? It's my pocket.
What did you say that you do again? Your property?
Properties, yes.
So, are you an estate agent?
Yes, I am.
Do you know have you got any gauge of what people who are looking to buy or rent in this area feel about it at all?
Yeah, 100%. Renting, especially when it comes to the rentings, people who are renting like professional students, they can't able to, if they're driving around the bridge, if they have a bike to use it, if they are transport, they can't able to, they don't want to buy this off the bridge. Even the buying and the letting as well, there's an impact on there. People don't want to because there's no parking available, first thing, because people are going to park there and walk all the way from there to here. And we will have a lot of effect for this. And if I have a builder to come out to do some work, there's no parking available to where they're going to do it. And they're going to charge me extra and to do it. I can't put that bill on the tenant's head, or the landlord won't be happy that if I give the bill to the landlord, say this is the extra £50 on the top. So this is going to impact every single thing.
Did you fill in the consultation yourself?
Yes, I did. It was so, the consultation itself was so confusing for the people. People came to us for helping them to fill out the consultation because they don't know what they're doing in there, because they made it so hard for the people, and the consultation was not even given and marketed properly to the people. People don't even know what a consultation. We displayed in our own places, like in a shop, to show the people there's a consultation happening, and we helped them for nothing. We've done a voluntary. You're not making any money. We're sitting down here helping them. Rather, they come out and help the people because they are sitting councillors. They should be helping, but no help from their side.
So the decision is going to be in March next month, about 3 weeks away. Just for what it's worth, in case any of them are hearing you speak, what would you say to them to make it? How to make this?
Please. We got a rally coming on 26th of Feb. Come out as much as number you can. Support us, show the support towards the cause we are going out for Mill Road Bridge and the consultation for congestion charges. We are battling to stop these people. We don't want this bunch of people to destroy our city. That's what we don't want.
Yeah, that's right. That's well said. What was your name again?
Mohammed Azimuddin.
Mohammed, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And this is the poster here. Zoom in on this. Now's the time. Here it is. 26th of February. Can you see that? 26th of February, come and join us for the march, protest the road closure and also the congestion charge at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've found Rory here. I've accosted him and he's going to give us his point of view. You say you're a handyman?
Yeah, that's right.
And you work up and down here quite a lot in your van?
Well, yeah, quite a lot of my work is around about the Petersfield area, and I'm based on Coleridge Road. Which means it's very handy. I can nip over the bridge. You know, there's never been an issue. I've never come across any congestion on the route. But yeah, now that they're going to close the bridge, it's a real headache.
What's it going to do to your journey time?
Oh, it's massive. You know, it's a huge difference because all of the volume of traffic that is dealt with by Mill Road is suddenly pushed onto the circuitous route that I now have to take. Yeah. And I've done it before. The last time Mill Road Bridge was closed, and it was taking me half an hour, 40 minutes sometimes, sitting in traffic. And I can't afford an electric van. I can't afford a hybrid van. This is a diesel smoker, and I'm now forced to pollute all of the streets in Cambridge. That and these are residential properties, that fronting onto these streets that I take, and it costs a lot of money as well, because time is money. Also the extra diesel, but most importantly, the pollution, the extra pollution. It's abominable. It's a ridiculous thing to do.
Go on.
That you do, Rory. The other work that you do is for some very important businesses in Cambridge, like the Castle Project, and some groups whereby they are really struggling financially to house young adults with mental health issues.
Yeah. Any comment on that?
Well, that's very true, and I always keep my prices as low as I possibly can because, these organisations in this climate are already struggling. But then, of course, I have to pass on the costs of the travel to them, and the extra fuel and the time involved. They can't afford it. I can't afford to swallow it either. So, yeah, it's just a daft situation.
Did you fill in the consultation yourself for the council?
I certainly did. Yeah, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know, you hope that people are going to take note of what you say, but I wouldn't count on it. I like everybody else. I've got the feeling they've made up their mind about this anyway.
Yeah.
You know, that it's a done deal. There's so much money going to be generated that there's no way the likes of the ordinary folk, you know, like us, we're not going to make an impact. They'll say they've listened, whether they do or not.
Do you have if one of the council men or women were listening to this, what would you say to them?
I'd say, for Christ's sake, scrap the whole idea, start again from scratch. There are better ways of solving the situations. You know, closing roads, choking the traffic, choking the streets is not the way forward. By all means, I know we desperately need improved public transport, but make the people that can afford it pay. You know, the big pharma that are in Cambridge, the universities, these companies that have billions and billions of pounds and benefit from this city, they're the ones that should be putting their hands in their pockets for this, not the ordinary people, not the tradesmen that can't afford it, not the people that can't afford to, you know, have the increased costs of you know, travel added to their bills. You know, it's just not fair.
Say that we just kind of crossed over into the congestion charge topic there, I feel.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
but no, that's all right. It's all connected. It's all part of the same thing.
It's all linked. It has to be. You know, we know full well that it's all part of the plan. Close down the roads, choke up the traffic, create the congestion problem, so that they're able to provide a solution. You know, and charge us. You know, charge the working man, charge families that can't afford it. It's despicable.
Do you live in this area, or do you just work here?
Yeah, no, I live over the bridge. I live in Romsey.
Right, so Dave Bajent would be your
Actually,
council.
sorry, no, I don't. I live in Coleridge.
Oh,
I beg your
okay.
pardon. I've family in Romsey.
Well, we don't have to go any further with that. I think that we covered it pretty well. What's just quickly your opinion on CamCycle, the group who are sort of pushing this forward?
I don't even know if I want to go there. I mean, I'm so furious that a minority group has such you know, an impact on local politics and local policy. You know, I'm just livid about the whole thing. You know, they have members in the local council, and in fact, they have CamCycle members on the board of the GCP pushing their agenda. You know, and it's going to cost us an absolute fortune, and it's going to cripple some people. It's going to cripple businesses, and it's going to cripple families. And it's just not one.
There you go. You heard it here. Thank you, Rory.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, cheers.
Very nice to see
Thank you. So if we could sum up the minority overruling the majority. It doesn't sound very democratic, does it? No. What's your name, first of all?
Sheila Gresham.
Sheila Gresham. This is your beautiful antique shop?
Not mine totally. We're like a cooperative.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. But you presumably have a lot of deliveries coming in and pickups going out?
Yes, every day.
Yeah, I've noticed you have a lot of the pamphlets of the Stop the Congestion Charge Zone, and you've got the poster in the window. So we're asking people about the Mill Road closure specifically. How is that going to affect you or this business?
We know it's going to affect us badly because it's been closed twice before, once for repair and once for COVID. And our business goes down by a third, quarter, something like that, between that.
A third or a quarter of your business goes down. Is that? Do you know the guys next door as well?
Same, yeah.
Same. Are you part of the Mill Road Traders Association?
We're not actually, no, but we do have a lot of contact with them.
Yeah. And in your experience with other traders, other retailers up and down the area, or residents, do you live in this area?
I don't live in this area, no. I have done, but I don't at the moment.
What do you feel is the public mood of the idea?
Generally, they don't want it closed. And I know that there's been a consultation which the result hasn't come out yet. But I mean, none of the traders want it closed, as far as I can gather, unless maybe you've got a cafe and you can put people out on the road to sit down. But most of us, you know, we just can't operate like that. Because, for instance, you know, if I have a chest of drawers to deliver, people say, oh, it's just over the bridge. It's not just over the bridge, it's all the way around, you know, which isn't achieving anything because it's putting all the pollution the side streets, it's just adding to congestion, and it's just very annoying.
Did you fill out the consultation yourself?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I sent a separate email as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel is the relationship between traders and the council?
Not brilliant, really. I think.
Do they listen to your points of view?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
So they're making the decision next month.
Yeah.
It's about 3 weeks' time. We'll have to see. But do you have a message for them, just in case one of them happened to be watching this?
Please don't close it, or at least make it one way with traffic lights or something. But please don't do it. See, a lot of them don't think it's closed if disabled and cycles and buses and taxis can go. But to everybody else, it's closed, isn't it?
It's vans, deliveries,
Yeah.
it's business.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to say?
Hang on.
Put you on the spot, you're going to ghost it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know. It's all been said before, and really, I don't know if they are listening. I think they've just decided in their heads they want it shut. So whether they'll take any notice of the consultation or not, we don't know.
We don't. No. Are you going to come to the rally on the 26th?
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm delivering leaflets whenever I live. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. This is a local issue which has struck the heart across the community, not just that, across the whole city and the wider area.
Yeah, will affect everybody, one way or another. Not in a good way.
No. Thank you. I think we can leave it on that. It's a nice point to leave it on. Yeah. Thank you. I've heard that before. Some people have said that Dave Bagent is a bit of a bully. Do you think that's fair?
I can say a lot of things, but the problem is people they shouldn't feel afraid.
Yeah.
If they're, as long as they're not breaking any rules or laws, anything, they should be able to display and get on with their life.
Well, it's their own shop, isn't it? They
Yes.
can put up any poster they want.
That is correct.
Also, people shouldn't feel intimidated out of sort of expressing their opinion on something that affects them.
I mean, we had people coming this side, going to their shops and everything, say, if you don't take that poster down, we're not going to come and shop.
Wow.
So they said customers or I don't know, sometimes it doesn't make sense. I mean, this bridge is nothing wrong with it. It's plenty of space for pedestrians, cyclists and everything. And if they wanted to improve it, they can do a lot of other things instead of closing it. They can put traffic lights one end and the other end.
Yeah.
So when there is red this side and the other one that side. So that's the best thing to do.
How long have they been talking about this plan? Do you know?
From they closed the bridge first time with them when the COVID hit. And then they closed it because they wanted for the distance.
Yeah.
Social distancing and everything. And then after that, they tried to keep it going. And we complained. I said it had affected on businesses, everything. You know, night time, if they close the bridge, this side of the bridge, it gets too dark. I remember from the last few times they closed the bridge, females, ladies, they were afraid of walking at night time because they said they were followed by people that are druggies and other ones, and they just didn't feel safe, and there were lots of complaints about it.
Okay, so where's the first place we're going to visit now
We're
then?
going to go further down. I just want to make sure you get complete view of everybody.
So we just went in to hear the master locksmiths, and the chap in there, he said he didn't want to be filmed, which is fair enough, but he said that I could paraphrase what his take was. This shop's been here for 30 years. The company, they don't really see how they could carry on here after, if they close the bridge and bring in the congestion charge as well, it's going to just drive them out of this area. They're probably going to move to a different shop somewhere outside of the charging zone. So you see how the knock-on impact of the actual street itself, it's going to become an empty shop, you know. Long-term trades business. They have a lot of vans come in because they're a locksmith, so they have traders coming on their vans. They're going to be affected. People know that they're here because they've been here for such a long time. They don't want to have to move, but if this happens, they will probably have to move. That's what he said. and his name was Sean. So thank you, Sean, for your words. Just wanting to point this out here. We got the sign on the door. Got about 5 or 6 we've walked past now so far on this side of the bridge. Most people seem to be against it. So here's the Romsey Town Labour Club for what it's worth. It's somewhat dilapidated, as you can see. Fallen out of use, defunct. The symbolic imagery, or the symbology is clear. So it represents just how far the Labour Party has come from where they used to be. What they used to represent, it seems that they've gone completely 180 degrees in the opposite direction now. Very strange. You recording? Okay. Hello there, what's your name first of all?
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name's Michael Serby, Cambridge Discount Electrical and Plumbing Contractors.
Okay, so we're just asking people how the road closure of the bridge is going to affect, or how it's likely to affect your trade.
Yeah, so we've been trading since 1979 in Mill Road. We are a plumbing and heating contractor servicing about 3,500 student rooms and accommodation in Cambridge. Majority of that is university accommodation, and we are on a reactive maintenance basis, a lot of that. So we are constantly into the city centre, town centre, on a rapid response call-out basis. If you're going to close Mill Road Bridge, when it was closed last year, it meant additional travel times down Coldham's Lane or Coleridge Road, and had a massive impact on our business, increasing our vehicle transit times and additional driving times.
And so time is money, I take it, for your kind of business?
Well, we're on a reactive, it just as an ongoing cost to the client, obviously, in terms of response times and in terms of efficiency and how many jobs we can potentially get done within a day.
Do you feel that if this happens, as well as having the charge brought in that they're proposing, that there's a risk that you might move or close?
We will certainly be relocating. It's unfortunate, as I say, we've been an employer employing 10 members of staff in Mill Road since 1979. We will be relocating, but how we're going to sustain or how we're going to maintain the repairs and maintenance work within the city is going to be very difficult, and in terms of efficiency, it's going to go way down. We can't carry the equipment that we need for health and safety and to actually do the tasks required on a bicycle.
This is part of Romsey Town, I take it, this area, and so Dave Bagent is actually your councillor, isn't he?
He is.
And so how do you feel about him being so against?
I have spoken to him personally on a one-to-one basis, and I have canvassed his views as to the congestion charge and as to how it affects our business, and his response. He understands that it's going to have a major effect on our business, but his response as to how we can deal with it, unfortunately, was unfortunately not practically a solution, in terms of all of our staff should come in, park at the park and ride, get the bus into town, get the bus back out of town to here, pick up a bicycle and go into town to do the work. We'll be doing maybe one job, perhaps 2 jobs a day, as opposed to 10 jobs a day.
Terrible. So would it be fair to say that Dave Bagent doesn't appear to understand the needs of actual businesses here on Mill Road?
I think he perhaps understands the needs, but doesn't necessarily take on board what we've been requesting, I'm afraid. I appreciate that there's a problem with traffic, and I appreciate there's a problem with roads and condition, but there's a problem for everybody, for cyclists, for pedestrians, for road users. Something has to be done, but I'm afraid the solution at the moment is not a practical one, in my opinion.
So I see you've got the poster here on the window. Again, one other. Are you going to be there on the 26th?
Yes, we'll be there on the 26th.
Wonderful. See you then. Thank you.
Right,
cheers. Just spotted another one as we're walking along. Here we are, Relevant Records, everyone's favourite record shop slash coffee shop. So these guys didn't really want to be filmed again, which is fair enough. But the owner said it didn't really affect them last time they closed the bridge. I think that a lot of their customers come on foot or by bike anyway. So the bridge closure, they're not really that fussed about. But what they are fussed about is the congestion charge. The owner of the shop, Andy, he is very against the congestion charge because that's going to affect everybody. He drives into work, he's going to have to pay to come in and out. He didn't really know about the bridge closure, he said, which is strange. Well, it's not really that strange because a lot of people didn't know about it. I'm just trying to say what he told me. They're not really that bothered about it. One of the ladies who works here is in favour of the bridge closing because this part of the road gets quite jammed up. It's a bit stinky, it's a bit dangerous for cyclists, very narrow road, so they're in favour of the bridge closing. But they're not in favour of the congestion charge. As Shakur pointed out, we suspect that the two are connected, they're linked up. Oh, it says Jim! If you can stop the bridge closing, you're more likely to stop the congestion charge going ahead. If they close the bridge, then the congestion charge is more likely to come in because they want to build this ring road thing and have a whole new road system in Cambridge. Anyway, so that's for another record. We're going to carry on now and go back to the carpet place. Alright? Long on the battery left, so it could cut off at any minute. Okay, so we're outside Northwood, and your name is, sir?
My name is Gulshan, I'm the owner of the business.
Okay. Just so everyone's clear, is an estate agent. Yes. Okay, so what's your take on the closure of the bridge?
I think it's going to be awful. I've been in this office for the last 20 months, and when we moved in initially, the bridge was closed due to COVID, and the problems that we've had just trying to, we manage properties all over town, and some of our properties are literally just over the bridge. In order to get from here to there, when the bridge is closed, it's a 1.5 to 2 mile detour for me. And I can understand the aspects of keeping the pollution down and all of that, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to be effective for that reason. I think it's just going to be displacing it really, and that includes the traffic as well that goes along with that.
And how do you feel the council has been listening to your points of view?
To be honest, I don't think they've done a great job. I looked at the consultation when it was up. Some of the questions I felt, which I made everyone aware, were quite leading almost, and it was almost funneling people into a particular direction really. And I think it was overcomplicated and unnecessarily long. It could have been a lot more simpler and a lot more concise.
My mind's gone blank. What was I going to say? I've lost my train of thought. What else? Do you have anything else that you want to add?
I think we do have a traffic problem in the city. It's evident. Everyone's in agreement on that. But I think the proposals that are being put forward, they're just not the right ones for the right time. I think firstly closing the bridge is not the right thing to do, and secondly, with the consultation that's going on regarding the potential congestion charging and so on, I think that is really the wrong way to go. People are already suffering. Businesses are suffering with high costs, high rents, rates, bills. Putting a charge on people, it's going to hit the most vulnerable the hardest, and people don't often realise that just because business owners like myself, we might not necessarily be workers, but at the end of the day, all of these costs hit us, and they're going to hit my team who work here. I can't expect my employees, my team, to come in and pay to come to work, and I certainly can't afford as a small business owner to cover it either myself.
Fair enough. Well, that's it. We think that's covered it fairly well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
I really like that, by the way.
It's very high tech.
It's a fantastic organic contraption.
Yes, it's ergonomic. Are you recording? Okay, is it John? John. So, what is your take on the closure of the bridge?
Mill Road Bridge, for us as a business, we've been trading in this high street store, serving the community for 27, 28 years now, and if the bridge was closed, it's just devastation for us. And to me, we need a vehicle. It's not like groceries or anything. We got 4 or 5 metre rolls of carpet. we got to deliver. People want estimates done. We carry pattern books. You can't put them on a bike. You can't walk up the street with them. We need a vehicle to trade as a carpet shop. And to close the bridge is just going to be devastating for us. If it do close, we're seriously contemplating closing the shop up, which after 28 years we don't want to do. We've got a lot of repeat business, a lot of customers, and serving the little local community here in Romsey is a big part of this. And if it's closed, they've got to go round and perhaps pass 2 or 3 other carpet shops to come to us, which isn't going to happen. And it's not that, it's deliveries. All our deliveries is done on trucks. They can't turn around when they get a delivery here when the bridge is closed. And I don't see why they've got to close it. There's a specially built bridge 100 metres down the track, Carter Bridge, which was built for cyclists. Why aren't they using that? I think cyclists should be made to dismount and walk over the bridge if they're worried about going over the bridge. Same as down in Burley Street. You can't ride a cycle down in Burley Street. Dismount, walk your cycle over the bridge and carry on.
Do you think that there's like unfair favour towards cyclists at the moment?
I don't think there's unfair favour towards cyclists, because Cambridge, we're a very big cycle city, Cambridge, and if you look at some of the roads in Cambridge, what they've provided and what they've built and the infrastructure for cyclists, it's astonishing. And do they get used a lot? Not a lot at all. You know, you look down East Road, what they've done down there, they've took a lane away for cars, made it into cycles. When it was snowing the other day, all the cycles was on the car lane. You know, it's just accidents waiting to happen. I come across it all the time. You're cycling over the bridge, it's uphill on the bridge, the cyclists are going very slow, and it's a build-up of traffic, and I suppose the cyclists do get worried with vehicles behind them, but I strongly feel that the cyclists should be made to dismount and walk over the bridge rather than the bridge be closed. And it's completely cutting off Romsey side to the town. Like this road, Mill Road, is the main road into Cambridge. It's like one of the main original high streets into Cambridge. Whatever they're thinking about closing it halfway down for, I do not know.
Did you fill out the consultation yourself?
I did, yes.
What did you feel about the consultation? Did it give you an opportunity to properly express yourself?
Yeah, I expressed myself. I found it very difficult to actually understand and fill in all fairness, which I feel a lot of older people, if they never had internet and things like that there, that they couldn't possibly fill it in. It was difficult to fill in, but I did manage to do it. But yeah, I expressed my feelings, and I definitely 100% don't want it closed, because they're not solving a problem, they're just moving the problem in front of someone else's door. Like if we got to go and do an estimate in Tennyson Road, for instance, from here, 2 minutes in the car. When the bridge was closed, it would take an hour to hour and a half to go to Tennyson Road to do an estimate. And do I turn my vehicle off for an hour and a half? No. So it's just causing more pollution, more congestion in front of other people's houses and properties.
So you serve this local area here. Has there been much conversation between you and your customers or other businesses you know in the area about it?
Yes, I speak a lot about it, and I speak quite openly about it. A lot of people don't really know that the bridge is going to close, and when you explain to them the impact that it's going to have about the bridge closing, they're in a bit of a shock, to be quite fair. I'm all for saving the planet, and cyclists, got nothing against cyclists whatsoever, but people like myself who run an independent business has got to run a business, and you can't run a business like a carpet shop without a vehicle. And customers, the bridge being closed is just going to stop customers coming down to us. Like buses coming by here, or people coming by on cars. We have rugs out here. People see it, and we've been here 27 years. We're established, and but we won't be here for another 27 years if the bridge is closed. Definitely not.
So, Dave Bagent is your councillor for this area, isn't he?
Yeah,
This is
Dave
Romsey.
Bacon's our councillor for here.
What-
He's quite adamant that he wants the road closed, and yeah.
Do you feel like he understands your needs or concerns, or has he just listened? Does he care?
I feel he doesn't care. We actually done a quote for Dave Bagent. He wanted a carpet done, and I see him in the council meeting, and he said, "We never went with you because you was £10 more expensive." And I said, "Well, I thought you might have come and given me an opportunity, Dave. Like, we're a local business, and I'd have sure I'd have done something for you."
Yeah.
But obviously he don't care about local businesses, and that proved the fact to me that he didn't care whether we're here or whether we're not. Like, if he could go to another major store, I won't mention no names what it was, but if he could go to another major store for £10 and not support a local business, that tells me everything I need to know about Dave Bagent.
Fair enough, fair enough. So are you going to come to the march on the 26th?
I will do, yeah.
And you want everybody to come to the march, I suppose?
We just want everyone to be there and just express and let them know the impact it's actually going to have if Mill Road Bridge closes. And I'd like someone to honestly stand up and explain themselves why they're going to close a bridge when there's the Carter Bridge, specially built and designed for cyclists, 100 metres down the track. Can you explain that, why they're not using
I can't. I mean, that's the reason why I'm here today. I'm trying to find out.
I just can't see the sense in it. Can't see no means at all why they would want to close that bridge. Look how long it's been here. Like, I've got horses and carriages. Am I allowed to still ride a horse and carriage over the bridge?
Probably not. Don't know. It's as wide as a car.
Is a horse who's got more right on the road than what a car has.
Wow. Is it Paul? Did you say your name's Paul? Your name is Paul?
No, John.
John, sorry, John.
So I might have to revert to horse and carriage for deliveries around the town. So I'd like to know whether they're going to close it for horses and carriages as well.
Well, that's a question we could put to them. I think that they're making the decision on the 7th of March next month. So if you've got a message, in case any of them happen to be watching, have you got a message that you would want them to think about on that day?
My message would be to seriously think about the impact that you're going to have on the likes of small businesses like myself if the bridge closes to traffic, customers, the length of time it's going to take for vehicles to go around town to actually get to another part of the town. If each road got blocked again, another sinkhole, this would be gridlocked. You would not be able to get out of Cambridge because everything was coming down Mill Road. There's things happen in Cambridge, and please, we just don't want the bridge shut. We just do not need to have the bridge closed because it would be just absolutely devastating for us. 27 or 8 years we've been trading here, and if it closes, we won't be here again. It more than likely be another coffee shop or something, which people don't want. You know, they want little independent businesses where they can go and buy things.
Well, I think that's a good point to leave it on there, John. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best, and hopefully it won't go ahead.
Well, I hope so. We really do hope so, because it's our livelihood. Like, we're only a family-run business.
Well, here's a question: do you think that if it did happen, and you had to close, or you suffered such a loss of business, you know, you were 50% down or something like that, would you feel entitled to compensation?
I don't think I'd be entitled to compensation. They wouldn't give you that anyway. But if they close the bridge, for what I've got here, I've got the shop so people can come back and they can see, choose a pattern book here in the shop, look at the carpets. I can do what I do from a retail unit in a little lock-up somewhere, in a phone with a phone number. But it's having somewhere to come back to. That's what people feel safe about. Well, he's got a shop. He's not a man in a white van turning up to my house. He's got a high street store. And that's what it's all about. That's why we want the shop and why we've been here trading for so long. But if you asked You ask anyone. I say, excuse me, do you want the bridge closed? You want it closed? You don't want it closed, or you want it closed? No. And he's a cyclist.
Yeah.
Like, the people don't want the bridge closed. It's it's a minority. It's a minority of people that wants the bridge closed.
Yeah.
You know, it's just ludicrous.
You're right. That's it.
But anyway.
Thank you. Thank you, Siobhan, for showing us around. No problem. We'll say goodbye now, and we're going to see you on the 26th. And is there anything else, one last thing you want to say to the world or to the council?
Let's have the best for the Cambridge people. That's what we talk about humanity, community.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay. So there you have it. You're going to walk slowly with me. So there we had a little snapshot of the local community, a few different types of businesses telling us what they think. Keep walking. And, you know, for what it's worth, hopefully it was a kind of representative segment of society, but you kind of get the point. A lot of people don't want it to happen. If it does happen, it's going to have really bad knock-on consequences for a lot of the companies here. And, whoops. And so there you see, we're going to wait and see what happens. We'll be watching them on the 7th, which is decision-making time for the council. You know, hopefully they won't decide to just bowl ahead with it, although I feel that they probably will anyway. You know, Mill Road is one of the most diverse and independent retail areas in the town, and it's just going to hit it really hard. From top to bottom, it's independent retailers, except for the occasional co-op. And so, what a shame it would be. This area is already in decline. Cutlets is moving out soon, they said, just because the guys are retiring. But there used to be a clothes shop on here, there used to be a toy shop on here, a sweet shop on here. They've all gone. And this is only going to accelerate the death of this area of town. So, anyway, there you have it, folks. William Burnell reporting for Cambridge Cracker News. Here we are on, this is Thoday Street. We parked quite conveniently here with our car. But another part of the plans of the GCP, they want to convert all of this into private parking and have residents only permits, so people like us aren't going to be able to drive down here and park, and residents are going to have to pay for the permit, so residents are going to have to pay to park outside their own house. And so there's just another example of the sort of thing that the GCP are doing to this town. Anyway, that's it. See you later, guys.